I think they wheel-lined it down in the pits and that, and he's back out there to do battle again.
50 degrees track temperature, 28 degrees outside at the moment. It's a beautiful, warm, sunny Saturday. Central Otago, Cromwell, Highlands Motorsport Park, mid-January. This is what you want, 25 degrees for 3 months. Otherwise, you want your money back. This is summer. This is New Zealand. What sort of track like this will have effect on these big bangers here now?
Obviously, there's a lot of heat out there, and sitting on the grid and that, like they will for this race, particularly because it's a reverse handicap race. So the first car, slowest car, takes off with the first flag drop, and then there's 9 flag drops. The last car, which is Perkins and Foggy, they're sort of a minute 40 behind. So they've got a lot of chasing to do to get up through the cars and through the traffic to the front of the field again.
But it could open the door for some of the likes of like Craig Boot, number 7, coming out of Nelson, and the 69 Ford Mustang. You got the likes of Bruce Kett from Silverdale, had a few issues with the Chevy Camaro in the last round. Other guys like Paul Bowden out of Wellington in the old Chevy Camaro. They always get a chance to try and grab the lead in the initial stages of these reverse grid races to try and hang on, don't they?
Yeah, well, Bruce actually got a win at the last race. Craig Boot, he's only just come back to the class. This is his first race for the season. His wife makes Pollen Gin out of Nelson, and she's the round sponsor for the weekend. So, like there's round sponsors that sponsor the group, as well as NZ and also Hankook Tyres.
Great support for the NZ Central Muscle Cars. It's a very cool looking Mustang, that 07 of Craig Boot, and hopefully he's going to give it the beat. Right, on pole it's going to be 51, Peter Templeton. Take a look at the lineup for the NZ Central Muscle Cars at the second race of the weekend, an 8-lapper before we get into the Castrol Toyota Racing Series. So plenty of variety, from the 86s to the muscle cars, to the wings and slicks, to the open wheelers, and then to the Speedworks Rush Hour. Super Saturday here at Highlands Motorsport Park in the BP Ultimate Motorsport Championship. So, front row of the grid.
Sean Fowler, front row of the grid.
Old-fashioned Tirana. Get a chance to show the field how it's done and try and make a break on the field. Get out there first. Open up a bit of a lead, and then make the most of having some clear traffic rather than having to be forced to race all the time. So here we go. Yeah. Reverse grid race, NZ Central Muscle Cars.
About 15 seconds back to the next car.
26, Sean Fowler's away first. Good old flash Commodore, look at that one. Historic motor, fantastic look. Flag drop. The old Tirana.
Yeah, that's Peter Templeton. He's in the Commodore, the second guy, right. Peter Templeton. He's just come to sort of make up numbers and that sort of thing. He races mainly with mainland muscle. He's come to our class. He's just put a new engine in the car, so he's still trying to get to grips with it as well, I would say.
All about variety here. There's the Commodore going down through the bust-up.
That's Janine Douglas, the only girl in the field.
Great to see the ladies out racing at the moment. Porsches to Commodores to TRS. Women in motorsport getting their thrills and their need for speed at the same time. Now some more big bangers being unleashed.
Got the
flag. Here comes Bruce Kett, is it?
Yeah, Bruce Kett, yeah.
Muscling his way through in that Silverdale Commodore.
Yep.
Big group of about 5 in a mini pack here.
The big Plymouth in there, number 148. That's Sinclair's car. He was racing his wife's car last round and blew the motor up, so he went down to his dad's shed and, Dad, can I borrow your car?
Has he got his own car?
Yeah, he's actually building a car to go over to the Salt Flats and race over there.
Look at that Plymouth though, what a great classic piece of muscle, isn't it?
It's a shame to see it out there actually, racing around like that.
I love that big NASCAR type sort of number though, 148. You can tell the Plymouth there.
Yeah, well, it's got the 426 Hemi motor in it as well, with twin 4-barrel Hollies on it, so it's a bit of a weapon.
Classic case of Hot Wheels, and straight away down the inside the 777 car ducks down and makes the move. Ross Graham from New Plymouth passes the Plymouth on the Holden Tirana. How's that from 1977?
Yeah, Ross Graham, he actually runs in a lot of Targa events as well, and has done a lot of motorcycling as well. the road registered car.
That's a 1970 Plymouth Barracuda.
Yeah.
Here comes classic Mustang, number 167.
Steve Neuer.
Out of Auckland. 7 Mustangs, so always a classic sort of bullet type look, isn't it, from Steve McQueen?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, obviously his car can run with fiberglass panels in that because they came out with fiberglass panels in them from the factory. So you know, whereas the other ones they've got to run the original steel bodies in Group 2.
There's that classic Peter Brock type sort of mobile 05 Commodore, the Marlboro one. The old days of the mobile one as well, and Peter Brock's old style of car looks like might be able to get that Templeton, make a move for the lead, but just as we were zooming in on the first chance to change the lead, he's gone wide. Come in spinner, he's gone onto the grass. He's parked it up. He's parked it up by the go-karts. I've never seen that before. He's gone off the carousel.
There's possibly something wrong with the car itself, and he's just pulled off the side of the road there.
Look at those skid marks coming out of the carousel, and yeah, something's gone. Either that, or if it's gone, he's parked it well and truly out of harm's way, hopefully.
Oh no, he's starting to move now, so hopefully they won't bring out a safety car or anything like that.
Only 8 laps, but Sean Fowler, number 26. It was weird, wasn't it? Just lost the brakes straight through. So there we go, the 05 Commodore. Look at that, Holden Racing Team. It's a classic sort of historical piece of motor racing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to see a couple of them out there.
That sort of exact livery going back.
And Andrew Turner's got one. They look good coming around the corner together there before.
Fans of the late great Peter Brock, Mr. Smooth, loving seeing that car out there.
You notice in the top of the windscreen of the cars, you've got the blue banners, which are the Group 2 cars, which are the slightly underpowered ones. They don't run the NASCAR engine, standard suspension, not as big a brakes, and the red banners, they're the ones that have like NASCAR engines, bigger brakes. They can run fiberglass panels, you know, perspex windows, all that sort of stuff. So you know they've got a bit of an advantage with speed-wise.
68 Paul Bowden coming out of Wellington, one of the was he the president of the Central Muscle Cars at the moment, doing a great job, and a nicely presented car, isn't it? 68, look at that. The Class 2 cars you were talking about?
Yes, yeah.
68 Chevy Camaro.
Yeah, I think he's about 4th in the class at the moment.
A lot of love and PLC gone into that baby. Down through the carousel, no problems for him though. And the Tirana's got going again, which is great. So he's out of harm's way. Sean Fowler still out in front. Petal Templeton followed by Janine Douglas. Paul Bowden making his way up into top 3. It's Boyden. All the fast cars sort of slowly trying to work their way up through the field. 6 laps to go. Reverse grid. Second showdown in Highlands at the NZ Central Muscle Cars. Great opportunity for these other drivers in their field, like Steve Neuer there in that 167 classic looking Mustang, to get a bit of a chance to run up the front, isn't it? Get some clear air and have no problem. Look at the big Dodge there.
That's Dwayne Ingley out of Queenstown.
See some of the local boys here from Cromwell, Queenstown, around Timaru, Christchurch, all getting the cars out of the shed for the start of the summer.
Getting chased down by Shane Holland. That's Shane's father's car.
Good old-fashioned American muscle. Can't beat it. For some of the guys like Shane Holland, 168 out of the Tron. Another one of the Chevy Camaros out there. Big battle coming off around the reverse Indies. Here we go.
You see them all starting to group up now, coming together sort of thing. So this is where it's sort of, they've got to fight their way through the traffic, which makes it hard for the guys coming through, and even the guys behind them, they get held up, and if they get held up, that's where the other guys can sort of stay out in front and pick up a win. Yeah,
try and pinch a win. As the fastest man out there, Angus Fogg, done a 1:42.2. Next behind them is a 1:43.2 for 50 Andy Knight. So watch out for 11. Angus Fogg in the big black Ford Mustang at 50 Andy Knight coming through the field in the Oldsmobile. Rest of the guys are still holding on. Craig Booth's not doing too bad, 147s. It is 07 Ford Mustang.
Yeah, this race is actually set up off the qualifying time and the first race time and the best times that they do over those two races, and then you put it into a computer and it spits out basically where they should be and what gap they should have. You put a percentage in there, obviously to sort of close it up a bit, because it is harder for them to fight their way through the field with other traffic getting, you know, sort of bunched up, and you know, they don't want to have any contact going through the
Shane Holland having a good go down on the inside of number 77, the big Dodge, around the outside. Mark Hopkins trying to come through in the Torada. Now they're all 1, 2, 3, 4 wide, coming up the straight towards the bridge. Who's going to blink first? Who's going to play chicken?
Here comes Tristan Teki in the Batmobile theme car.
And watch out for the flying 50 Oldsmobile of Andy Knight. A big bunch coming over the bridge. There he is. Hopefully he can keep it going. Got off to a great start in the last race. Then just had an issue. Had to back off. Now they're all starting to come round reverse Indy. Including Angus Fogg. He's going to come into picture very, very soon across the start-finish line. 4 laps to go now. And it's still Templeton out in front, but for how long? Here comes the Fogmeister. Templeton, Douglas, Bowden, Boyden, Kett, Graham, Neuer, Becky, Hopkins, Holland, Knight, Ross, Turner, Boot, Hansen. Round that southern loop, going through the bus stop, through the woods. Sensational shot, isn't it?
Yeah, goes forever, that corner.
Yeah, it does. It's like the corner that keeps on giving, never ends. Foggy making a move, going under the bridge into the S's, through the S's and now under the bridge. All the boys from J.A. Russell have been supporting him all day, including our man who's wearing a cap now. Cheering him on, seeing if he can get the big black beast up around the carousel and through the field in time. But perhaps time will be the killer here. These reverse grid races, what a great shot.
There's
Boot giving it the boot, number 7.
Dean Hansen coming up behind him there. Had to put a new power steering box in last night.
Foggy smooth and fast round the outside. No mistakes there, keeps it nice and tidy too. Turner giving him lots of room. Down and over the bridge. Andy Knight trying to make a move, working his way up past Holland now. Down around reverse Indy. Lead is still holding on out in front. Janine Douglas has now raced away. What's her gap? Got 3 laps to go in the Triple A car. Can she cause a bit of an upset? So far, 14, turn 14. Been kept quiet for the last 2 races, which is good. Whoa, another look at that. There's the Oldsmobile again. I wonder if it's deja vu. Something's gone again in the Andy car.
Yeah, dropped off again.
In fact, he did the old escape route going through the bus stop down by the woods. Real frustration for the boys out of Christchurch. They're out in front, 88, Janine Douglas. Got a 1.6 second lead. Can she hold on from 68, Paul Bowden? Here comes Fogg. Here comes Boot. There is Andy Knight. He's parked it up. And it doesn't sound good. Black smoke coming out the boot. And that's down by the southern loop. Well, hopefully it's out of the way. I'm not sure.
No, I don't know if it's out of the way. It might prompt a safety car if it's...
Last thing you want for 3 laps to go is a safety car. Mind you, Janine Douglas, you might say, well, no, she wouldn't want you because she'll lose her advantage.
Yeah, and it's hard for them, like when they start after a safety car as well. You got the faster guys in the mid pack, and they, you know, like a bull at a gate sort of thing.
They bunch up and just becomes a straight out sprint between who's got the most horsepower. Where here it is, the Lexus. Well, it's the super safety car actually. Last year was the Lexus. Now it's a beautiful car. Today he's having a really busy day behind the wheel of the super safety car. He gave me a blat around the track last year. Jonathan Green a blat around the track this year. When you just find out what a cool track it is. Out switches around here. Stay off the marbles. Stay away from the concrete wall. Let's regather and regroup. They come across the start-finish line. 3 laps to go. Recovery crews doing a great job, like with our volunteers. all of the motorsport marshals and officials. Thank you very much for your efforts over the weekend. Chance to reboot and regather. Where that car is down by the woods. Hopefully he might have got it going again. Recovery guys have got it out of the way.
They may finish under a safety car, you know, because it's time certain as well. So it's
Picture race coming up with the opening lapper for the Castrol Toyota Racing Series. I thought he may have got it down one of the offshoots off the way away from the track. So it's Janine Douglas, 888, currently in the front, followed by 68 Paul Bowden, then 48 Tony Boyden. So it's all the eights. If you haven't got your lotto ticket tonight, I think they should. Top three, they now come under the bridge. Beautiful vista there with the Highlands and the hills in the backdrop here in central Otago. Then it's Templeton, Kent, Graham, Teki, Neuer, Mark Hopkins, Steve Ross, rounding out the top 10. So 2 laps to go. It was the last time Janine Douglas picked up a win.
I'm not too sure, actually. I can't remember how long ago it was, but if she picks up a win, she'll be happy.
Long time between drinks, and if the round sponsors the gin,
yep,
might have a little wee pink gin later. Who knows? Might deserve it. So 6 laps, 2 to go. I'm certain all of these races. Castrol Toyota Racing Series due to start around about 4 o'clock, so we still have time here. Never know about whether or not they can get the Oldsmobile of Andy Knight off the track.
Looks like the lights have gone off on the safety car.
And we can restart for a flying finish. Oh, talk about pressure. Can she handle it? Hey? We're all gagging up.
Pressure there.
All gagging up. All lining up. Who's going to be able to make the move? Who's got the horsepower here to pinch a win? Some of the other big boys are still perhaps too far back, like Angus Fogg. Oh, Janine Douglas. Can she do it, baby? 888. Old style Commodore. Lights are out in that super safety car. Going to be a 1 lap flying finish or 2 laps. Might be a 1 lap dash for cash. Here we go. NZ Central Muscle Cars. Green flag, 1 lap to go. Douglas down towards the bus stop. Along the straight, Bowden, Boyden, all the boys gagging up. Can she hold on in the old Commodore? Rest of the field charging through. It's a 1982 Holden Commodore with a whole stack of Camaros and other muscle cars gagging up as they come around the southern loop for the last time. Now she's got to hold it through the chicane into the S's and under the bridge. Here comes Teki making a move. Kit getting up there as well. They're all ganging up. Can she do defensive driving?
I know.
Will she be able to hold on? Here they come, trying to block it down the inside. 48 sticks his nose down there. Forces Bowden wide. Gets the drive out around the sting. Off camber. Flat out. Bruce Kent hanging on, trying to keep it off the grass. Janine Douglas coming down towards the elbow. Take the tight line. Hold them up. Force them wide. Use your elbow. Get your elbows out wide. That's it. 888. Look at them. And she's got a nice little break too, hasn't she?
Yeah, and Foggy's looming up there in the back.
Oh, here comes the Fogmeister. Oh, one of them's gone round. There's been contact. 66. Oh, he keeps it off the wall.
Steve Ross. Yeah.
That's lucky. Unlucky for him. But there was such a big bunch of cars up and over the bridge. Sideways. Oh, twitchy. 48 making the move.
Tony Boyden. I don't think he's had a win for a while.
Where's Janine Douglas? He's gone.
Yeah, they've got past her.
Oh,
no.
He's gone wide. He's blown up under pressure. Who's going to get the win now? Sand going everywhere. Fantastic stuff. Here comes Fogg. And Fogg from nowhere, he's just grabbed a lot of them. That is unbelievable. Just a big bunch, and they all choked under pressure. And Angus says, booyah, rock and roll, thank you very much. What happened then, Ian?
Oh, that's what the safety cars do to the races, I think. You know, like Tony Boyden's still stuck in the sand there trying to get out.
in the one shot we were looking at the car that spun coming out of the hairpin, they all grabbed Janine Douglas going up and over the hill. 48, he had a chance there to try and grab the win and pinch it, Tony Boyden, and then Fogg just buries it through the field. And you still took horsepower off him. I mean, turn it up.
Yep. Oh, there's Noya in the sand as well.
Oh, another one into the sand. So the recovery crews are going to be very busy to clear the track in time for the exciting Castrol Toyota Racing Series. So just confirming that staggering result out of nowhere in the last lap, Angus Fogg steals the win like a thief in the night. Bowden holds on for second from Tristan Tacky in third, and then it was Deneen Douglas had the win, lost it in the last lap, had to settle for the top 5. Craig Booth, the wife, will be happy, coming home in 7 in the number 07 big Ford Mustang. Perkins, Graham Hansen and Michael Wallace rounding out the top 10.